Hey y'all, how are you? Welcome back, Jackson M. Haskell. Here, so the quick announcement is that this video coming after this on October 4th. We're gonna be coming Friday the 13th, part 4, which is really cool. I'm really excited for that. And this video coming on the 3rd, which we're filming right now. We're talking about Freddy's Nightmares, which is really cool. Season 1. Pleased to announce that Season 2 is October 13th, which is really cool. I'm really excited for that. But yeah, Freddy's Nightmares has 2 seasons. We're going to be covering the first one. There is 22 episodes in both seasons. So. And with the exception of the pilot, all episodes carried 2 separate storylines. First half hour would be devoted to one story, while the second half hour would be devoted to the second. But here we go. No More Mr. Nice Guy, episode 1. Directed by Toby Hooper of Texas Chainsaw Massacre fame. Which is cool. Then it was written by Rhett Topham, Michael DeLuca, and David Ehrman. October 8th, 1988. Which is cool. I'm trying to think what I was gonna say. I don't know if we've seen Michael DeLuca. Probably, yeah. He was the executive producer for Freddy is Dead and The Final Nightmare, Leatherface Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Blade 2, Hedwig and Angry Inch. Producer was Zathora, 12 Mighty Orphans. And he was a writer on Freddy's Dead and The Final Nightmare. And then Mouth of Madness, which is an iconic film, which I want to do for Let's Talk Horror eventually. But yeah, let's talk about this plot. Freddy Krueger has slain many children and teenagers, but is currently on the loose. But after a police officer, played by Mark Harrier, catches Freddy trying to kill his daughters, Freddy is arrested. During a trial, the judge formally discovers Freddy was never read his rights, so the judge just let him go, but does not end there. First time we're going to be seeing Mr. Harrier. Not a lot of stuff. He was in Porky's 2 as Billy McCarty. He was in Popcorn as a director, which is a horror film. But yeah, episode 2, It's a Miserable Life. Directed by Tom McLaughlin and written by Michael DeLuca and Paul Roselli. October 15th, 1988. Tom McLaughlin. Friday the 13th, part 6. Jason Lives. And One Dark Night, which is cool. But yeah, a fast food employee played by John Cameron Mitchell hates his life, but when someone robs the restaurant, his life gets a little more interesting. Meanwhile, his girlfriend, played by Laura Park Lincoln, is tormented by hospital staff after she was shot, which is cool. John Cameron Mitchell, Henry and Angry Inch, please. Sorry. Where he's the director and writer for it. Also, Joan Carroll, where he played Joe Exotic. And this one is Rose, plays Brian Ross. He was also in Twilight Zone from 86 too, amongst other projects. Then Laura Park. Okay. We're gonna see her in Friday the 13th, part 7, The New Blood, where she plays Tina Shepard. She was also in House, The Second Story, House 2, the second story, where she plays Keat. Which is really cool. So kind of cool connection. Number 3, Killer Instinct. Directed by Mick Garris, written by Alan Uri. Mick Garris, we've seen for Let's Talk Horror, I believe. If not, we're going to. Hopefully soon. A lot of Stephen King adaptations. Critters 2, The Main Course, The Fly 2, Batteries Not Included, Hocus Pocus, Nightmare Cinema. Oh, so we probably have not seen him. He was in The Howling. We've seen him for Tales of the Crypt, where he directed an episode of Whirlpool, which is cool. But yeah. A runner, Yvette, played by Yvette Nepar, accidentally kills her rival, Lori Petty, by using a magical charm that she stole from her, that lets whoever she is imagining happen. Which is cool. Yvette Nepar, ex-wife Patrick McDermott, Freddy, where she plays Nikki in this episode. I don't recognize her from anything else. Robocop the series, where she plays Lisa Madrigan, but besides that, I don't know anything from her. And Lori Petty, Cadillac Man, Free Willy, The Poker House, amongst other projects. Free Willy, she was Ray Lindley. Her first thing would have been 1988. Last thing would have been 2023, as of right now. Head of the Class, Batman anime series, where she plays Live Wire. And Super in the anime series. But yeah. Next episode, Freddy's Tricks and Treats. Ken Wiederhorn would be the director. And written by A.L. Katz, Gilbert Adler, and A.L. Katz we've seen actually recently in Tales from the Crypt. So, Ken Wiedenhorn, Dark Tower from 1989, House in the Hills 1893, Return of the Living Dead Part 2. Meatballs Part 2. I don't know if we've seen him in a lot of other stuff. Freddy's Nightmare, he directed 7 episodes, which is cool. A college student, Mariska, played by Mariska Hargitay, is tormented by Freddy after he hears that she does not believe in him. Which is cool. Mariska Hargitay, we've seen her before. Known for playing Olivia Benson in Law & Order, Special Victim Units, which is cool. We would have seen her in something, or I guess not yet. It doesn't look like it. I thought we. Lake Placid, we're going to see her in. If we covered her, Ghoulies in 85, so we've seen her. Episode number 5, Judy Miller, Come On Down, written by Tom DeSimone, and written by Jack Tempchin and Michael DeLuca. Tom DeSimone, Chatterbox, 1977, Hell Night, 1981, and Concrete Jungle, 82. It's the films he worked on. Judy Miller, played by Siobhan McCarthy. November 5th, 1988. Siobhan McCarthy wins big money on a game show where it solves life's little nightmares while creating newer, more tragic nightmares. Episode features Susan Oliver as the maid and Judy Miller's future self, and marks her final appearance of Oliver before her death in 1990. Oliver, I don't know if we've seen before things. Just a really well-known actress, I would say. I don't recognize her from a lot of stuff. She was in Twilight in the 1960s. Star Trek, where she plays Vina. And Freddy's Nightmares would have been her last production, where she plays the maid and future Judy Miller. Next up, okay, we have a well-known person here. A Saturday Night Special. It was directed by Lisa Gottlieb. Across the Moon, Cadillac Ranch, which is cool. James Nathan and Don Bollinger wrote this. November 12th, 1988. Two Nobodies Learn for Perfection. Gordon, played by Scott Burkholder, fantasizes a dream date with sex goddess Lana, played by Sarah Shari Shattuck, which is cool. Never heard of Shari Shattuck. The new Mike Hammer show. The new Mike Hammer, which plays Gladys, Sandra, and Neela. We're only going to be seeing her in this episode. Bold and Beautiful, where she plays Heather Thompson. Yeah. And Ashley Abbott in The Young and Restless. Next up, number 7, Sister's Keeper, directed by Ken Wiedenhorn, who we just talked about, written by Jeff Freilich, Michael D. DeLuca. And a sequel to the pilot episode, the twin daughters of the cop who killed Freddy are now being hunted by Freddy, so the twins plot to find a way to get Krueger out of their dreams for good. November 19th, 1988, Sister's Keeper. Next episode, Mother's Day. Directed by Michael Lang, and written by David Ehrman, on November 28, 1988. I don't know if we've heard of Michael Lang. Nope. I've never heard of him. So when Billy, played by Byron Team's mother and new stepfather, go on their honeymoon, he meets neighbor Barbara, played by Jill Whitlaw, who we've seen before, who convinced him to throw a party that proved to be fatal. Meanwhile, radio psychologist Elizabeth Savage finds herself in hot water when she gives her callers bad advice. Byron Teams, I don't know if we've seen his name yet. I don't recognize him, but he played Billy. Star Trek Enterprise, where he played crewman. We've seen, actually, Jill Whitlaw before on Night of the Creeps, where she plays Cynthia Carpenter. Sorry, Cynthia Cronenberg. And she's Barbara Gamble in this episode. Next up, number 9, Rebel Without a Car, directed by John Lafia. Best known as a co-writer for Freddy's Child's Play, with Don Mancini, which is really cool, and Christopher Trumbo was the writer. December 10th, 1988. I don't know if we've seen Mr. Trumbo before. Nope. Alex, played by Craig Hurley, finds an abandoned muscle car to be his ticket out of Springwood, Ohio. Instead, he keeps envisioning the fate of previous owner and Connie, played by Katie Barberry, is determined to belong as a sorority, but the nation's process puts her for her own private hell. Katie Barberry. Every Which Way, which Miss Ursula Van Pelt, and also Ursula D. Roman and Grachi, which is cool. Number 10. So, The Bride Wore Red. It was directed by George Caxander and written by Howard Larkin Green, December 17th, 1989. I don't know if we've seen him, but he's directed 26 films. Yeah. Christie Exchanges Seasons, Those Angels Fly, The Agency. Okay. Jessica, played by Diane Franklin, is a newlywed with deep-sealed fears of infidelity and divorce brought on by her cheating, domineering father. She becomes an avenging angel who seduces and exposes cheating husbands, but the disintegration of parents drives her insane. I don't know. I feel like we've seen her before. Probably not. Terror Vision. Which is Caesar Putterman, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Princess Gianna. Van Amityville 2, Possession, where he plays Patricia Montelli. Which is cool. Next up, number 11, Do Dreams Bleed? So halfway there. Directed by Dwight Little, written by Michael D. DeLuca, January 7th, 1989. Dwight Little, Free Willy 2, Adventure Home, Marked for Death, Murder 1800, and Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, which is cool. A man has dreams that depict information about a local killer, Springwood Chopper. Next episode, number 12. End of the World, Jonathan B. Fuel directed it and written by James Capp. Which is called January 14th, 1989. A woman discovers she can change events that happened to her in childhood, altering her life. Soon she is discovered by the CIA, but the user prevent a nuclear disaster. Starring George Lazenby. We've not seen him in Let's Talk Horror, but Lazenby is a really well-known actor. J. Johnson Pettigrew. Man from Uncle, we played JB. Mario and Emanuele in films Major Charles and Pretender. But the reason we would know him on Her Majesty's Secret Service, he played James Bond in '69, which is really cool. Next up, number 13. Michael Lang directed it, written by Jill Donner, probably related to Richard Donner, on January 28th, 1989. A washed-up newspaper editor is given the story of a lifetime, but finds out the paper tells the future and sees an article about him committing suicide. Episode 14. Black Ticket, directed by George Caxander, written by Howard Larkin, February 4th, 1989. Brick, played by Brad Pitt and Miranda, are teenage lovers who leave Springwood. Their call starts, so they check into a hotel, but the hotel is run by sadistic hicks. Also, Miranda is pregnant and trying to hold down her job. Brad Pitt, I'm not going to mention him, just a really iconic actor. School Days, Michael Klein directed it, and written by David Ehrman, February 11th, 1989. Steve Dart, a student at Springwood High School, decides to take it easy to escape stress. When he's called to the principal's office, he starts having nightmares and soon discovers the high school's shocking secret. In the second half, Matt, a young Springwood High School student whose SATs are coming up, soon begins to have strange nightmares and illusions about his life. He fails his SATs, which is cool. So next up, we have Cabin Fever, directed by Robert Englund. He of Freddy Krueger fame, amongst other projects. Brett Topman wrote it on February 18th, 1989. An airline heir discovers he is on a flight to hell. A flight attendant thinks she's on Mr. Right. Which is cool. Okay. Love Stinks. Next episode. Episode number 17, so only a couple more to go after. John Lafayette wrote it, written by Jeff Raylich, Michael D. DeLuca, February 25th, 1989. After teenager Adam is coerced into cheating on Laura, played by Tamara Glynn, with Lonnie, the girl who meets at a party, he finds out she is looking for a more permanent relationship. Meanwhile, Adam's friend Max is forced to abandon his planned summer trip and take a job at a Pizza Palace, working under his creepy, tyrannical uncle, played by Jeffrey Combs. So, Tamara Glynn, we see next week for Let's Talk Horror. Freddy's Nightmares. But the reason I would know her, I would say, is from Halloween 5, Revenge of Michael Myers, where she plays Sammy Thomas. Also, it was in Terrifier 2 as the mother, which is a cool film. And Jeffrey Combs, Reanimator series, I would say, is what I know him from. He plays Herbert West and portrays multiple characters in Star Trek, including Brent and the Aliens in Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Thalek Schron in Star Trek Enterprise. Also, a lot of Stuart Gordon films. For the Frighteners, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, House on Haunted Hill, Castle Freak, Would You Rather from 2012. He also voiced the question on Justice League Unlimited and Ratchet and Transformers. Next up, number 18, Art of Death. Ken Wiederhorn directed it, written by Michael DeLuca and Ken Wiederhorn, March 11th, 1989. A young artist comic is brought to life. A claustrophobic woman is tormented by her roommate's friend. Number 19, Missing Persons. Jeff Raylich wrote it and directed it. May 6, 1989, a college student, Eva LaRue, with past weight problems, go back to her childhood home to babysit two children who love junk food. Then a man, played by Timothy Bottoms, soon regrets his wish of spending a day in the life of another person. Eva LaRue. I feel like we've seen her before. Maria Santos and All My Children, Detective Natalia Bia Vista and CSI Miami. Yeah. And she played Gina in this episode. I don't recognize her, actually. RoboCop 2. Debbie Dix. Oh, okay. Ghoulies 3. Ghoulies Go to College, where she plays Aaron Riddle. That's probably why. Then Timothy Bottoms. Jimmy Got Gun. Tony Crawford in The Last Picture Show. DC 9/11, Time of Crisis, Crocodile Hunter, George W. Bush, multiple times on my Bush, Collision Course, and other projects. Next up, number 20, we're almost done. Light at the End of the Tunnel, written by Jonathan B. Yule, written by James Capp and Jonathan B. Fuel. May 13th, 1989, a man tries to overcome his fear of the dark after getting a job in a sewer and a pornographic store and becomes trapped in his own nightmares. Number 21, Identity Crisis, directed by David K. Calloway, written by Rebecca J. Pograw, May 20th, 1989. An ex-hippie played Jeff Conaway, whose deal values peace and loves above all gets crosswise with his son and his money obsessed boss. 18, played by Kimberly Keats, who shares nothing with her mother, asks point blank if she was adopted and does not receive the answer she was looking for. Jeff Conaway. I feel like we've seen him. Grease. Kinnicky. He played struggling actor Bobby Wheeler in Taxi and security guard Zach Allen in Babylon 5. And he was also on Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew. Happy Days, where he played Rocco. Tales on the Dark Side, plays Peter for an episode. Then Elizabeth Cates, Kimberly Cates, we've seen, I don't know if we've seen her, but we probably will. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, where she plays Princess Elizabeth, which is cool. Also Seinfeld for an episode. On Our Own, where she plays Alana Michaels. And last but not least, last episode for season 21 is Safe Sex. Directed by Jerry Olson, written by David Shaw. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Lebanese Massacre 3, The Crow, and The Hills Run Red, where he was a screen author, wrote screenplays. May 27th, 1989. A teenager who's in love with a goth girl who obsessed with Freddy Krueger soon finds the teenager is plagued with dreams involving Freddy. And the second half of a dream girl is tormented by the man of her dreams, which is Freddy. That is it for season 1, which is really cool. Season 2, like I said, October 13th, which is cool. Then, like I said, video coming after is on October 4th. We're talking about Friday the 13th, part 4, where we have Mr. Corey Feldman appearance, which is really cool, and I'm super excited for that. And that's October 4th, and like I said, October 13th, we're going to be talking about season 2 of Freddy's Nightmares. And I hope you all enjoy. Bye-bye.